Amy Sherman. I'm with Montana State University. I'm the barley breeder. We recently instituted a new part of our program. We think that because of climate change and for some other reasons that winter barley may be a possibility for Montana. Historically, winter barley hasn't survived in Montana because it's too cold. But we think that winter barley would be a good addition to the farmer's toolkit, allowing them to have barley planted in the fall and then harvest earlier. It could allow barley to miss the hottest, driest parts of the year. It would finish before the hottest, driest parts of the year. And it could be a good sustainability tool where we have more ground cover over the winter and just a really good rotation. So we started working on it, and to make barley more cold tolerant, we got material from a collection of lines held in Russia that was created by a famous plant breeder named Vavilov. He went around the world and collected all sorts of material, not just barley, but one of the things he did was collect barley from the coldest parts of the world. And we have that material thanks to his work. And we've made crosses. We tested that material over several years. We picked the material that was the most cold tolerant in Montana, and we've made crosses with it. And the results of that work you see here. This is a very early generation, so this material is only at F4, so it's only been inbred for 4 generations. And it's from those original crosses. And you can see that it's varying for a lot of different things. We have some 2-row material, we have some 6-row material, we have on material, but it's highly variable. So this is very early stages in the breeding program. Right now we just wanted to see whether it would survive or not, and you see we could have some survival. There's a lot of variation in height, so some of those tall lines we might be able to make into a good forage line. First step, get it to survive, and then we'll start selecting for material that is the quality that we want and more adapted to Montana. As I've said before, we're working on winter barley, and it's a new aspect of our program. There wasn't really a winter barley breeding program before we restarted this. But the problem is to have a good breeding program is you've got to have existing germplasm to build on. And we didn't really have very much existing winter germplasm. So other researchers have kindly shared their material with us that we're actually testing here in Bozeman and around the state. And at the very least, that material will be incorporated into the breeding program. We will make crosses with it and, for example, the Vavilov lines. So here behind me is some material that was shared with us by Pat Hayes. He's the barley breeder at Oregon State. If you look around the field, you'll see there's some really tall material. And I said there wasn't much germplasm in the program when I started, but there was some winter material. And this tall stuff all comes from the breeder that was previous to me. He had a student that then became a technician, Pat Hensley, who developed a bunch of this material. And we're excited about this tall material because we think we can turn it into a nice forage if we make it onless. And then this material comes from a trial that's funded by the American Malting Barley Association. It's called the Low Temperature Tolerance Trial. And Pat Hayes is part of that. Kevin Smith is part of that. And so they were kind enough to share that material with us, and now we're testing it, and then we'll be able to make use of that germplasm. So it's something that breeders commonly do. They gather germplasm from around the world, they test it in their location, and then they can use it in their crosses to adapt it to their location.
We want to thank our sponsors. The work we do is labor-intensive and expensive and would not be possible without their support. Our largest support comes from the growers of Montana through checkoff dollars administered by the Wheat and Barley Committee. They've supported both spring barley and the development of winter barley. Industry support comes from the American Malting Barley Association and Brewers Association. New Belgium, with interest in sustainable production, has supported our drone program. A USDA NIFA CARE project supports student projects that have worked on malt quality and abiotic stress resistance. Our success is dependent on your support, and we thank you. The best breeding ideas come from our stakeholders. So please reach out to us with your ideas. And of course, if you have any questions, a good place to catch me is through my email. Check us out through social media. And I hope sometime soon we'll be able to actually see each other face to face.